Friday, you guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maddison Hill, and yes, it is time for another Pop Off with Maddison. For today's Pop Off, I'm going to be talking about Tristan Thompson's baby mama drama. For those of you who don't know, there is a woman, her name is Kimberly Alexander, and she claims that Tristan Thompson is the father of her son. We haven't heard from her in a little bit, but she is back, and she is dragging Tristan Thompson on her Instagram stories. She's also talking about Khloe Kardashian. She's talking about the Kardashian family as a whole. She actually called them the Kardashians, and I can't lie, that made me LOL a little bit. And then she also did a Q&A on her Instagram stories as well this morning. So there's just a lot to discuss, and honestly, I feel like this is the perfect Friday piping hot tea because it goes along great with any Friday cocktail, mocktail, snack, whatever, what have you. Regardless, this is some good tea, so sit back, relax, and let's get to unwrapping those facts. Okay, so for those of you who have no idea who Kimberly Alexander is, or for those of you who maybe have forgotten about her, let me refresh your memory. Kimberly Alexander is a woman who went public last year claiming that Tristan Thompson is the father of her son. She claims they slept together during Tristan's rookie season, and that's when her son was conceived, and since then she's been trying to take Tristan Thompson to court for him to take responsibility for his alleged child. The last time we heard from Kimberly Alexander, she was accusing the Kardashians of having ties to the lab where Tristan Thompson took his paternity test, which ended up coming back negative. She was essentially insinuating that the Kardashians had the power to tamper with the test. After that, Kimberly was going off on her Instagram stories about Tristan and Khloe, and she was eventually served with a cease and desist letter. When that didn't work, Tristan Thompson filed a libel lawsuit against her, mainly because she was making claims that he's a, quote, deadbeat dad. Tristan's lawyers insisted that Kimberly's claims of him being a deadbeat dad were a lie, and they also claimed that her lawyers were the ones who chose the lab where Tristan Thompson went and took this negative paternity test. His lawyers went on to literally quote Michael Jackson in their court documents and said, quote, to quote Michael Jackson, this kid is not his son. I'm not even going to get into how unprofessional I think that is. Okay, now that you're up to speed on who Kimberly Alexander is and her ties to Tristan Thompson and Khloe Kardashian, you should know that since Tristan did file that lawsuit, she's been quiet for a little bit. That is until recently when she went absolutely off on her Instagram stories. First, she accused Tristan Thompson of sending people to her home and trying to scare her. Then she went on to say, trying to focus on another baby with Khloe, focus on what you made here, boo. The truth shall set you free. I know it's eating you up at night. She followed that up saying again that scaring her won't work and that she's going to need to set up a GoFundMe to pay for all these lawyer fees. She then says the Kardashians are trying real hard to scare her out of Cali. She then went on to say that it's scary when you live in a gated community and a stranger comes knocking on your door, and then she threatened to whoever they said next that that person's going to end up on the news. If that wasn't enough, this morning Kimberly went on to do a little Q&A. First up, someone said it's going to be real funny when everybody finds out that your son is Tristan's son. She responded saying it's going to be epic and that she can't wait. Another person asked what's his excuse for not taking a second paternity test, and they also asked if Khloe has reached out to her. Kimberly responded saying there's no excuse and that they're in court for something different, which I assume is this libel lawsuit. She also said something interesting, that Tristan's side has not brought up a paternity test to clear things up. Someone then asked why she didn't take it to court in the first place, and Kimberly claims she was confident of the truth, which is why she gave Tristan the chance to make it right outside of court. And finally, you can see she's siding with someone who said that Tristan not taking a test shows that he has something to hide. All right, clearly you can see there's a lot going on here, and I don't know about you all, but I need a shambong, so you know it's time to pop off. Alright, so here's the thing. It absolutely has been a few months since we've heard from Kimberly Alexander. Some people might have forgotten about her. Probably Tristan and Khloe were hoping we would have forgotten about her. But I personally never did, especially because if you remember, just a few weeks ago when Lamar Odom brought up that his ex Sabrina Barr slept with Tristan Thompson, sources came out and spoke to TMZ and said, oh, this happened during Tristan's rookie season. It's so long ago. I was like, that's interesting. You know what else happened during Tristan's rookie season? He allegedly conceived a child with Kimberly Alexander. Again, this is allegedly. So anyway, while I know this woman might seem a little crazy and she might seem like she is absolutely financially motivated, I have to say the fact that she hasn't backed down from this fight since last year is kind of telling to me. I kind of believe she has to be telling the truth about Tristan being the father of her son, or at the very least, she fully, with every fiber of her being, believes the truth that she's spouting out there. And honestly, you guys, knowing how Tristan is and knowing how he treated the mother of his son, Jordan Craig, I can kind of see the truth in this. yes. Jordan Craig went through the ringer when she was asking for more financial support from Tristan Thompson, and honestly, she wasn't even asking for more financial support. She was just asking for her son to financially be treated the same as his daughter True. But still, there were no questions of paternity in the Jordan Craig situation, and he still put her through the ringer. So Kimberly Alexander is definitely up for a fight, and by the looks of it, it doesn't seem like she's gonna back down. And while yes, she's been quietly fighting this battle for a few months, I'm sure the thing that set her off was seeing Khloe go up on Ellen's series Lady Parts and talk about how her and Tristan Thompson have frozen embryos and how they want this second child and how the only reason they don't have a second child is because the pandemic delayed their plans. Like, I'm positive that absolutely set her off. And honestly, if he really is the father of her son, I can't blame her for being annoyed. To me personally, I find it odd that Tristan Thompson hasn't taken a second paternity test. I know he's already taken one and it came back negative, but if there were questions of the validity of the test, it is odd to me and a little fishy that he hasn't just taken a second test to put this issue to rest if he really believes he's not the father. In my opinion, if I were Tristan Thompson, the second this woman went public again, I would have been like, here, let me take a second test, prove it to you I'm not the father so we can put this whole thing to rest and you can stop going on social media and talking about me and talking about my current girlfriend. I would have just taken the second test right away, and the fact that he hasn't and the fact that his lawyers aren't making him do that is a little odd to me. I can't lie. It just makes more sense to me that you would have taken the second paternity test, cleared yourself of being the father before filing the libel lawsuit, because I feel like that would have given him a much better chance of actually winning the libel lawsuit. But again, I'm not a lawyer. I've only taken one communications law class, so that's just my own personal opinion. Truthfully, I don't really know where we go from here. I think it's clear that Kimberly Alexander is not going to back down. She is not going to let this go until, I assume, there are 2 and possibly 3 negative paternity tests proving whether or not Tristan Thompson is the father of her son. I think we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this libel lawsuit, and also we're gonna have to keep an eye on when Khloe and Tristan have the second baby. We obviously know the plans are already in the works. We've known this for a while, but I think Khloe either getting pregnant or them having a surrogate carry their second child is definitely going to stir up more anger for Kimberly Alexander, and it's just going to fuel her fire. And before I wrap up, as far as her allegations that Tristan Thompson is sending people to scare her and the Kardashians are sending people to scare her, obviously I'm inclined to not want to believe that, because if they really have nothing to hide, then they shouldn't be taking those measures. But then again, I have watched one too many documentaries about how people with money try to use their power in multiple ways, and while I don't want to believe that the Kardashians would do that, I don't want to believe that even Tristan Thompson would stoop so low to do that. The only thing I'll say is, and I hate that I'm quoting Justin Bieber, but never say never. All right, you guys, now I'm ready to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Kimberly Alexander, aka Tristan's alleged baby mama? What do you think about these recent Instagram stories? What do you think about the Q&A? Do you think Tristan's the father of her child, or do you think this woman's reaching? I want to hear all your thoughts and your theories down below. While you're at it, please give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget that notification bell. For more celeb content, you can follow me over on my Instagram. I do mini pop-offs Monday through Friday on my Instagram reels. Plus, you can just get a little peek into my life. I don't know if that entices you or not. I should probably stop saying that. Also, you can follow me over on my TikTok. I'm trying to keep up with the Gen Zers, and I also post a lot of celebrity content on there, so definitely go check out my TikTok if you're interested. Also, you guys can check out my merch store at houseofhill.com. I worked really hard on that merch, so I'd be super appreciative if you just checked it out. And on that note, you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.